Hi, today I'm going to be telling you about the top 10 details in the new Nintendo Switch 2 trailer. Now, the first one that I want to be talking about is the new Joy-Cons, right? The new Joy-Cons is basically the same form factor, but it's just more sleek, more low-key, and you can see the bright colored Joy-Cons from earlier from the Nintendo Switch original model are gone, and now they opted for a more low-key design like this. So it's more of a red, but the main color is still black. Now, the second thing I want to talk about as well is a new button on the Joy-Con as well. Now, you can see there's a new button down here, right below the home button. Now, this new button doesn't exist on the old Nintendo Switch, right? So this is completely new. The new uh, part of the LED has been moved. On the old Joy-Con, it used to be on the inside of it, but looks like right now on the new Joy-Cons, it's facing upwards. The fourth thing, and I think it's one of the most interesting one, is that on the body of the Switch, you can see here that on top, there's a new USB-C port. There you go. See, there's a new USB-C port. Now it's very interesting because there is already a USB-C port on the bottom of the new Switch 2, and I'm assuming it's gonna be used for charging or for talking, right? But the fact that Nintendo has added this new port on top means that there's gonna be a lot more new possibilities about what this port can be used for. Now, the fifth one is also considering the top of the part here is that it uses a traditional cartridge-based system, right? So it's gonna be like the old Switch, where it's a little cartridge that's almost the size of a SD card, right? The Nintendo Switch 2 will be backwards compatible with the old Nintendo Switch console as well. So all of those old games and libraries you've collected from the Nintendo Switch will still be playable in a new Nintendo Switch 2. So it's gonna be like a very direct upgrade. So why get a normal Nintendo Switch when you can get a Nintendo Switch 2 where you can play all of the Switch library and then some more? The seventh detail I want to talk about is less about the Nintendo Switch and more of the games. You can see here, this game looks really like a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe remake, but it's probably not a remake, right? Because even though the graphics seems very similar, this is most definitely a new Mario Kart game. The karts are different, and even though the character models are very similar here, you can see, but it's a new track, and there's a couple of new characters that we can see if you really zoom in and look at every detail of the game. The eighth thing I want to talk about is the new docking system here, right? And the new docking system is much more rounded. It seems like Nintendo is really going for a more rounded design in Nintendo Switch. Now, in the old V1, it's more blocky and more like a toy, right? And this Nintendo Switch 2 5 is more of a sleek gaming device that's powerful. Now, the ninth thing is that we're going to be going back to the Joy-Cons. Now, you can see on the Joy-Cons, they have a similar attachment and wrist strap as the old Switch 1 model. And now for the final detail I want to talk about is at the very end of the video. You can see here at the very end of the video, they gave out a date for the Nintendo Direct for the Nintendo Switch 2. It's at April 2nd, 2025. So, of course, make sure to mark that date on your calendar so we can all tune in and see what the Nintendo Switch 2 is all about. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing.